Oi oi my drillers, it's your geezer Bigdonnycal here. That's right, here for another video. And as the video title suggests, I think that Torghast can save WoW content. And here's why. So, before I get into my idea, first of all, Torghast, what is it? Well, it's the Tower of the Damned, the Citadel of the Jailer, where all the most dangerous souls across all the worlds go to in the afterlife. And in game, we just use it as a weekly soul ash farm and a little quick twisting corridors event for some cosmetics. That isn't quick, it's long and boring. But yeah, that's Torghast. So now the big idea of how I think Torghast can save World of Warcraft content. You see, one of the biggest issues I find when playing WoW is that I need other people in order to play, and sometimes just going through the LFG system doesn't cut it. You'll be held back by other players and you'll just be constantly cursing them, blaming them for your lack of progression. So what if Torghast had a system kind of like Diablo 3 style Greater Rifts, but without like a time constraint, just the regular Torghast death limit we already have it similar to Mythic Plus in the sense that you get more attunement shards, just like what we had for saving the major lore characters like Thrall, and they can be at different levels. Like a Mythic Plus keystone we can get out of our Great Vault every week, and each of these attunement shards could have specific affixes that would make it so every time you go in there, it's a slightly different challenge, you know? So, yeah, that's the main gist of it. But there is still one issue, and that's that the rewards, you know? What are the rewards gonna be? Well, you see, you can make it so that these Torghast rifts, I'm gonna call them that, would drop pieces of gear that is based on the level of the Torghast rift that you do. So you'll go in, let's say you do like a level 5 Torghast rift, and let's say you get your item level 200 piece, but you go and do a level 10 Torghast rift, and let's just say it's an item level 210 piece, if you get what I'm saying. Like, that wouldn't be the exact figures that they'd use, but it could be like a rough estimate of the sort of gear you'd expect to get from it. Then, what would also be quite interesting to see within the Torghast run is some additional cosmetic loots, whether it be something like old world transmog, new pets, or toys that could be added, that is like from bonus mini events, which you can lose lives on, so it would be a risk to go and do these events. And these events would all count towards like adding an additional chest at the end of your run, just like say in Legion Mythic Plus or in the Withered Army training scenario. At the end of your Torghast run, you would get a series of chests based on how much of the Torghast map you have cleared through. So if you do like all the mini events, every boss, kill everything, then you get the most amount of loot possible for that level of rift. And I think that would be really, really entertaining to see in World of Warcraft and just play through. Like, imagine this, you can just log on to WoW, hop into Torghast, and bam, you can get straight started on getting some content down, you know? You could just get right into it. You don't have to be in guild. Anyone want to do a sanguine 12 key? And just be responded by silence, sitting there like, guess it's time to the LFG. No, you got your solo content, and you know, at the end of the day, I think that's going to appeal to a lot more players than, you know, your current group content. Where, like, because not everyone has a group of friends they can play with. But yeah, so that's why I think it'd be a good idea. But I also have one more issue with this idea, and that's the fact that progression can be halted by RNG, in the sense that anima powers can make a huge impact on how your run is going to go, how smoothly things will go. So I was thinking maybe there could be some form of anima power skill tree that the player could select before they go into their Torghast run, as they put the key in, and then bam, they select their anima powers. That's the powers they get for the whole run, and each floor doesn't really have that exponentially increasing difficulty that you'd see in your regular Torghast, as that's more based off of the fact that you get increasing anima powers as you fight through. Although it might be nice to still have the floor 3 and floor 6, keeping that as maybe having that as a couple random powers, but still within boundaries where it's not gonna have a huge cut in your progression, just to like keep things changing, you know, have every run different from the other, so you're not just like, yeah, same old anima tree, same old anima powers every single run. You're like, you have the option to run different builds. So yeah, that's how I think the Torghast rifts would run. But I do still think that there's other parts of Torghast that need some improvement. So, I was saying at the end of that there are some other Torghast mechanics that I feel need some improvement. So, one thing about Torghast is that we'll go into it, we'll find it boring. It's just another weekly run for our Soul Ash. And one way I think it can be spiced up is by whenever the rune carver says his little lines like, "You are hunted, be wary," have like some mini event happening, like something coming off of that to keep the pace of the Torghast run going. So maybe like, I don't know, some little mini boss riding a Shade Hound will appear, and you got to fight that off. No matter where in the Torghast you are at, like that mini event will happen based on a specific timer, and I reckon that'd be a really good way to keep the Torghast runs fun and engaging, so that you're not just going through knowing what to expect, you're just killing things. All of a sudden, bam, some mini boss comes out of nowhere, and like just packed your fighting pretty comfortable. All of a sudden, now you got to think. Now you got to think. Right, okay, who do I prioritize here? And how can I stay alive? Take out this mini boss and carry on with the run. Another thing that I think would really amp up the vibe within Torghast is so those players who have in-game sound on, yeah, the music in there is kind of lacking. Like they use the Torghast ambience music, and I mean they've got that Torghast action music. Why don't they just put that in there? So like if they had some music in there that would really give more of a better vibe, more like you're delving in the Tower of the Damned, the prison of the most dangerous souls that have ever existed. Some music that would really give you that vibe, I reckon that would add to the engagement. And then another thing I wanted to touch about, which is a completely new mechanic I'm thinking of, is just like in games like Diablo 3, where mini bosses and big bosses have their own affixes. I reckon World of Warcraft should implement that into these little, all these Torghast runs, you know? Like, you go and fight your little boss at the end of, let's say, floor 1, and he will have maybe an affix that will cause fire to appear every time he does a melee attack, you know? Like, he hits you with a melee attack, and then a pool of fire appears. Or maybe like your end boss at floor 6 will have an ability that would, I don't know, cause them to teleport across the room. So you gotta reposition yourself to get back to them. You know, something to make the fights a bit more challenging. So that you actually gotta think about it and not just blindly be pressing your buttons and knocking down a health bar. But yeah, that's just what I think. Well, yeah, those are my thoughts on how I think Torghast can save WoW. If you guys have any questions or any discussion, then please, I encourage you to put them down in the comment section below. I want to hear all your thoughts, all your opinions. Thank you all so much for watching the video, and yeah, I'll see you next time.